There's still no clear indication whether talks between the U.S. and Iran and Pakistan will take place as anticipated. Speaking to American media a short while ago, U.S. President Donald Trump warned Iran that the time to make a deal is running out and that he does not want the ceasefire to be extended. Trump instead suggested U.S. forces are ready to go militarily and insisted he will not be rushed. Pakistan has urged both the United States and Iran to extend their two-week ceasefire set to expire on Wednesday. Preparations to host the second round of negotiations are still underway in Islamabad. Iran insists it will not entertain talks under what it says are the shadows of threats from President Donald Trump. Washington has prepped a team, led by the vice president, to head to Islamabad if talks are confirmed. The U.S. says the naval blockade on Iran's ports will remain until it agrees to a deal. But Tehran says Washington must lift the naval blockade and stop the seizure of ships. Both parties blame each other for violating conditions of the ceasefire since it came into effect. Mike, there's many news lines that have been dropping as a result of the interview that Donald Trump was giving to a U.S. media outlet. What else have we heard from the president?
Well, it was a lengthy and somewhat rambling interview, nearly 40 minutes, in which he discussed a number of issues ranging from U.S. finances and the stock markets to that war in Iran, about which he said that he's not that keen on extending the ceasefire unless a deal is reached. He continues to express optimism that such a deal is possible, but doubled down in terms of there will be renewed military action should a deal not be forthcoming by the end of that deadline, which he set for that ceasefire, which happens to be midnight tonight, Eastern Standard Time, U.S. time. He also made reference to what he's been referring to in recent days as nuclear dust. Now, one must assume that he's speaking about enriched uranium possessed by the Iranians, which he says has now been put out of reach of the Iranians. It's been obliterated, as he put it, by the B-52 bombers that laid waste to parts of the nuclear facilities within Iran. So he's doubling down in terms of insisting that the ceasefire will not be extended unless a deal is reached, and yet at the same time continues to express a form of optimism that such a deal is possible despite ongoing U.S. operations, particularly against Iranian vessels in the Strait of Hormuz and elsewhere.
All right, that's Al Jazeera's Mike Hanna live for us at the White House. Thanks for that update, Mike.